we're out here on the county road, headed east. We're actually getting close to the property. I came in from the north, I believe off of Highway 76. You can come in from the north or from the south. I came in from the north today because that happened to be the direction I was coming in. But I've come in from the south before, and that's fine too. You have to cross a small bridge and then go up a kind of a windy gravel hill to get to the property from the south. But from the north, this road is about to curve to the right, and the property will begin on the left. There's an open area. We're going to pull in there in a moment and park. But first, I'll just show you a little bit of the road frontage here on the west side. So you can see it's heavily wooded here. A lot of cedar trees. It's fairly flat. You can put a driveway anywhere you wanted here. Just cut out that old fence. And then as we get further south, it'll start to slope down here. You can see some evidence of that beginning, or maybe not. But if you look through the trees, let's see the topo map for the details on this. We're going to go back and park on that site that I showed us and walk down that ridge. Follow that ridge down to the east side of the property, which I have never seen. So this is kind of an exploratory mission. I don't know if I'll keep the camera running the entire time because I don't think anybody wants to watch an extremely lengthy video, but we'll see. Okay. So again, we're about to pull in, land on the left as we look to the south. That could be vastly improved with about an hour and a shovel. The guys literally just cut the barbed wire out so that I could drive in there this morning. There we go. But I'm gonna go ahead and park right here, and we will go check this property out. We've got a pretty nice day for this, so I'm excited to get out and see what we can see on this property. Okay. So again, we're on the, it'd be the west side of the property, looking toward the county road. This is sort of a natural open area. This probably was field at some point decades ago. You could leave it just as it is. You could cut out these cedar trees. This could potentially be a good building site right here. And then as we walk toward the east, we'll be on that nice ridge which winds its way down all the way to the east side of the property and eventually to the Bryant River, to Bryant Creek. And where we are right now is already further than I've been on this property, so I'm pretty pumped about getting the chance to do this. We've got some cedar trees, quite a few cedars here, some large cedars. Wow, there's a monster pine, holy cow. Jeez. 1, 2, that is 26 inches diameter. I mean, that is a monster pine. I see some pine trees now. That's looking off one side of the ridge. You can actually see the Bryant Creek down there. It's the end of winter and no leaves are on the trees yet, so you can, I just saw the Bryant Creek. But we're gonna go ahead and walk all the way to the east on this property where it has some actual frontage on the Bryant. Now, I was talking to one of the neighbors out here a couple days ago. There were only 2 or 3 neighbors in this immediate area, all nice guys. And he said that there had been kind of, I guess, a brush fire, you'd say, that came through here, and it burnt out a lot of the small underbrush. So you'll see evidence of that probably as we get a little further. This is a beautiful area. This can make a great building site right here. We're well off the road. You can hear a noise in the distance. That's a tractor on the field on the other side of the county road. They're mowing that field. But here we've got cedars and hardwoods. If you cleared out some of these trees, I mean, you would have a view for miles. I can see a ridge in the distance through the trees. I'm gonna keep moving since we're already at 6 minutes. But this continues to look really nice as a potential building site right up here. Flat and level, we're on a ridge. Okay, now we're getting to where I can see where he was talking about where that brush fire went through. So you can see some charred dead wood. Now this is pretty common when farmers burn their fields. This is not a forest fire situation where it killed all the live trees. A brush fire like this never got that hot. All it did was come through and clear out some of the smaller underbrush. But since it did happen in the fall, nothing's greened up yet, so it looks kind of bleak. But I mean, you can see the big timber. I see pines, I see hardwoods, I see several big pines, and a lot of big oaks. But now this area where it's cleaned out all the small brush and grass, this actually just plain is rocky on this part, actually. This is a rocky area. It wasn't this rocky further up. Another big pine. But I mean, by the summer, when some of the small stuff grows back up, this will look completely different. It's just right now, after that fall brush fire went through, it looks worse than it is, I guess, is one way to put it. But it's good for the forest. It's good for the bigger trees. Another big pine, another big hardwood. And this is actually a really cool ridge. I can see on both sides. Oh, there's the Bryant River down there. I never know what really shows up in this camera phone, but I can see it really well with the naked eye. You can see the Bryant and the gravel bars. And then on the other side of the ridge, just a ton of hardwood on this property, which I really didn't expect. So you could have your building site or camping site up there by the road. You could have a walking trail or potentially a driving trail going down this ridge, because this ridge so far is really nice. Some more big pines, big oaks. Looking down toward the south side of the ridge, it looks like it slopes down into basically a ravine type area, but nice hardwoods. I don't know if there's a spring at the bottom of that ravine or not. We're going to keep moving east so we can make it to that river. This remains of an old fence right there. Oh wow, look at this. Look at this, is that cool? That almost looks man-made when you look at the stacked rocks, but that's all natural. Very cool rock outcropping. And then you can see the Bryant Creek down the hill there. Looks a little strange with all the underbrush burnt off right now. Wow, this is really cool. Rock outcroppings here directly on the property. Looking down, there's a big bottom field across the river, and there's the water down there. More rock outcroppings here. I think this will be a long video. Some monster boulders here. This is really cool. This has got to be one of the most unique properties we've ever had. to have this ridge running basically full length all the way down to the river. And according to some maps that we found and some other sources, we're going to end in about the middle. Oh wow, cool. We're going to end in about the middle of a Civil War battlefield, believe it or not. It was called the Battle of Clark's Mill, or Vera Cruz, Missouri. And the map we found shows that the actual battle itself took place on the east, east side of this property, and areas to the south and north. But the actual battleground where the firefight was and the troops were amassed, the very east side of this property is a part of that, according to those maps. So that's pretty unique, pretty darn unique in and of itself. Somebody told me, I don't know if this is 100% true, but I've been told that there were only 8 or 9 Civil War battles in southern Missouri, and that includes the big ones, like the Springfield one, which was, oh, I can't think of it now, and I see the sign every day. Wilson's Creek, that was the big one in Springfield, and then there were several other smaller ones. And this was not a major battle, but it was an official Civil War battle. And I'm excited to get down to that east side and see that, because I haven't seen that yet. In fact, we only just found out about that after we had purchased the property. Now the ridge is kind of, I guess, leveled out a little bit. It's no longer nearly as rocky. We still have the hardwood trees and the pine trees. I can still see the Bryant Creek off to the north. I don't have a very good map with me, but here's another big pine. Wow. There are easily enough tall straight pines for a beautiful log cabin on this property. And hardwood as well. I just prefer pine for a log cabin, generally. But anyway, as far as the maps, it seems to me this ridge, basically the entire ridge is on the property, so as long as we stay on this ridge and keep heading east, we'll be okay. Phenomenal area for deer and wild turkey. Just on the drive out here, we saw 4 deer, not even a half a mile from the property. 2 or 3 fawns and then a doe. Now here's kind of a natural knoll on the property. This is really cool. Kind of a natural high point on the property itself. It's not nearly as high as the west side, but it's this round, kind of natural opening, which is really pretty neat. All kinds of hardwood trees. I doubt you'll find that kind of mature timber on every square inch of the property, but from where we are right now, there's a lot of good commercial timber that I can see. So we'll continue to head east. Or easterly anyway. I don't know if this is straight due east, but it is the morning and I'm headed roughly toward the sun, so that's easterly. More pine trees. This is a really cool mix of hardwoods and pines. And a lot of cedars too. I still see some cedars down here. More big pine trees. This is wild. I see deer tracks everywhere right now. Everywhere. Now, judging by the aerial that I had looked at, pretty soon we should come to more of an open, almost a glade type area. And that could be that up ahead. More massive pine trees over there. It's a pretty big cedar tree. And that's going to be that grassy area up ahead. But look at these pine trees. Big, big pines all over the place. All over the place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. About a dozen that I can see. Oh, more than that, 15. Really nice timber on this property. As with anything we sell, you're welcome to do what you want with the timber after it's been paid for in full. So once you've paid off the property and don't owe any money to us on it, then you can harvest the trees or whatnot. We definitely do make exceptions for cutting trails or clearing building sites. Just get with us and we can give you a written exception for a specific trail or a building site. Okay, so now we're coming out of the hardwoods into a grassy area. And I do have some type of map with me. I'll have to pull that out and have a look at it, so we can figure out how to get down to the water. Yeah, this is probably an old farm field that obviously hasn't been mowed for many years. See if we can get through here. Oh, this is very pretty down here. This would just be gorgeous if it were cleaned up a little bit. Just a quick run through with the brush hog. We have this all looking great. Okay. I can see deer pads crossing over this everywhere. And actually there's the power line. I forgot to mention there is power directly on the property. Already on it on this east side. It crosses right over. So I should be able to get up here about where the power line is, and then I can pull out that map and we'll see where we are. Okay. So now I do have a pretty good idea of where we are, because I can see, you can see an old fence line there. There's a big cedar tree, and I don't know if you'll see it in the video, but there's an old fence that runs north to south. And then we come down here to what appears to be about the end of the old fence, probably where it starts to run to the east. We'll explore that a little bit. Oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. Look at those pine trees. What an ideal building site this would be for a cabin. And now we're close to the river. See if I have my little map and I can have a look at that. Well, we should be fairly close to the river. Having never been here, I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so we went through that field. We'll hit that fence. Now we have to keep heading due east. And on this easternmost portion, going down to the river, the next several hundred yards, the property's fairly thin, but more than enough room to make a nice road to the river and back. Let's go check it out here. What I'm really looking for is a fence that's running to the east. Here's, wow. Because of the the Civil War battles here, every couple years they do reenactments of the Battle of Clark's Mill, and so that could be actual cannon fire we're hearing. So here we're crossing under the power line, and I see this pipe, which to me is, there's really no other good reason for the pipes to be here other than probably the boundary marker where the fence that runs east-west goes. So this is probably, now we've just entered onto kind of the thin section of the property that goes down to the river. So we'll walk straight east, and I'm looking east right now. I don't have my map with me, so I can't say with certainty how wide the property is here, but if we stick reasonably close to that fence, then we're still on the property. And there I can start to see the fence posts. Ooh, a couple thorns. It would be great to mow this stuff. There's the fence. Phenomenal property. I mean, my goodness. I go to bed at night dreaming about finding properties like this, because I really love to get out and explore these and get them cleaned up a little bit. We like to get everybody the chance to own something this special. I mean, this is something you would obviously probably want to hang on to and pass down to your kids and the grandkids. There's still a section of the fence, and we're still just south of that, so we're still on the property. We should be getting fairly close to the water, I hope. I'm at 22 minutes. Now we're looking back to the west. Let's save some camera time for when we get to the river. I have never seen this section of the property, or the Bryant Creek or Bryant River or whatnot. I'm optimistic it's going to be awesome because I have seen it on the maps, and I'm familiar with this area of the Bryant Creek. Other than the fact that I'm being as noisy as a bear in the woods, we probably would have seen some deer already. Now we're coming into some cedar trees again, but I've still got that fence off to my left, so we're still in good shape. This would be a great property to explore with a four-wheeler, because you could really get around and see all the different areas probably a lot better. And without it having been mowed for years, it's really hard to get in and see what's what. So now we're into looks like it's sloping down just a little bit. So we're probably getting closer to that river. I've got some thorns here that I have to work my way around. So I think I'll go up and over. Wow. I would love to get in here with a brush hog for an hour or two. This would just be a perfect property to clean up like that. So if we can get through this little miniature thicket, it looks like we'll be okay. still heading east. And we should be coming up on that water just about any time. I kind of veered a little bit off the fence line to get around those thorns. I'm going to walk back toward the north here. Now I believe somewhere is the old county road. I don't know if it's been used for decades, but the map shows an old road crossing this property. I don't know if you can use it for access. I don't know what the status is. Feel free to check into that. Okay. And that might be the county road on the other side of that fence. Now that fence won't be a boundary because that's running north to south. That's just a fence along the county road. So let's go and make sure we know where that east-west fence is. Bear with me just a moment while I check my little map here. Okay. Yep. So we're still in good shape. We just have to cross this old ancient fence, and then that might be the old county road. Ooh, ouch. It's an old fence, but it's actually somewhat sturdy. Hope I didn't mess up the video twisting my camera like that. Okay. Okay, so this is clearly the old county road. Looking to the south. Now there is a cabin on past here. I noticed that on the map to the north. So he's apparently using this road. Again, I don't know the status of this road. I don't know who has an easement or who doesn't. But it's just something to be aware of, is that there is an old county road or lane that apparently someone is using, so you wouldn't want to restrict their access to that. Okay, so that's still about the east to west fence, so we'll follow that on down. I can already see the Bryant as I look off to the east. I just wanted to take a look here. So that little field is not on the property. But as we walk directly to the east, we'll walk down to the Bryant. And we'll be looking at the actual river frontage on the property. Now this is another area that obviously hasn't been cleaned up for decades. But with a few hours with the chainsaw, you could have a huge wide walking trail or four-wheeler trail here. Let's go down to the river. A lot of the frontage in this section of the Bryant, I mean, it's a great section for frontage, but a lot of the bank that I've seen in this area is fairly steep. And we'll see if we can get down to the water or not. I mean, you can always get to the water. It's just how much work you want to put in to create a walkway or a pathway or whatnot. Oh, this is really cool. Look at that sandbar. Let's cross that sandbar and go check out the water. And this is fairly steep here. I kind of expected that. but you'll find that this is all sand and gravel, so it wouldn't be tough to cut the bank out a little bit, make an easier walkway down. As it is a little bit steep. That might be a better spot there, but in the spirit of trying to speed this video up, I'm just gonna kind of do this little jump off right here. Wow, enormous gravel bar. This is a sandbar, actually. There you can see a house up on the bluff. This is just stunning. This is just pure wilderness here. And according to the maps, this was part of the Civil War battle site. That part of the property we just crossed over. Look at that bluff. Wow. Wow. Because of the time of year, the water is really low. But the fact that it's this high and that I can see little fish in it, oh, little fish just jumped over there, means this is a really good river. And Bryant is well known for being a good river. Big bluff on the other side, beautiful. I mean, this is just pure unspoiled beauty out here. This is fantastic. That is officially by far the longest video I've ever done. We're over 30 minutes. The water is extremely low. You can see even in the winter, if you look to the left, where about the normal water line is. But it's been dry. In the summer, spring and summer, this will be quite a bit higher. It'll stay fairly peaceful. There'll be a few people that float and fish on this section, but a lot of the commercial traffic for floating and fishing is a few miles down the river. So that keeps this peaceful and family friendly, as they say. Amazing to have property on the Bryant River. So we've got some county road frontage, we've got mature timber, we've got that huge ridge, we've got a Civil War battle site, we've got power crossing the property, we've got direct Bryant River. It's pretty darn amazing. Since we're at 33 minutes, I guess I'll call it quits. Looking back toward the west, some of those big pines on the property, huge gravel bar on the Bryant Creek. And looking at the Bryant Creek itself, spectacular property.